everyone, and welcome to Bob's Garden. We're here in the northwest hills of Connecticut in the middle of June, and it's time to do our summer pruning, summer solstice pruning of Japanese maples. Now, if you go to our video on the winter pruning, you'll see that we pruned before it leafed out to remove all the deadwood. Now, any time of the year that you find deadwood, you can go ahead and prune it out. But you must have a specific time to prune maples in the summer. So we don't want to prune too late in the year. What happens is, as the weather gets colder, like after Labor Day, maples go through a process called hardening off. The sugars that are in the limbs and the trunk start to move down into the root mass. And if you prune too late in the season, what happens is there's not available nutrients for the leaves to come out. And they'll try to come out, but then they'll die and the whole branch will die back. So you don't want to prune too late in the season. As for me, I like to just, at the end of July, I don't prune maples unless I have to. If I find deadwood or if something's way out of whack, I'll prune at that time. But this is the time of year to do this kind of summer pruning. So we just don't go at it to start pruning without thinking about things. So I've looked at the whole tree and decided in advance what I want to do. So I'm just going to give you an example of where we're pruning, and I'll show you a couple cuts. So we'll see that each leaf here comes back to a stem. This is called a node, from here to here, from here to here. So we can prune anywhere along these nodes like this. Now, one thing that we don't want to do is we don't want to cut into that middle stem like that. Because what's going to happen is that this is going to die back and it could stress out these leaves and cause it to die back further. So you really want to get in between like this. And I'll go a little bit further in, and we can take some of these ones that are hanging down. Now the whole idea here is to keep this off the driveway. You can also cut along the main branch anywhere in through here. You could even, you see these nodes in here? You could even cut back and not leave a leaf, and it should leaf out at that point, but I prefer to go into the inside like that. So I'm going to take some of these overhanging branches down, and in my looking at this tree all around, I found some deadwood, and that does happen. After you've gotten in there in the wintertime, you get rid of the deadwood, but you might have some more deadwood as the season progresses. So as I said earlier, you can do this at any time to take it out. So I'm going to show you that deadwood. When I was looking this over, I found this deadwood in here. For some reason, this did not bud out, and it had not turned white like the normal we see in the winter time. So this, anywhere, you can't just prune like this. This is not going to do us any good. You have to come all the way back to the main point where it meets, and this is the way we get rid of the deadwood. Now here we have some branches that are compromised, and this is actually not in a good place, and it's weak because this is part of this part that died. So we'll come back all the way to here, right into here. And if you need a saw, you can use a saw, or we can get rid of that. Back down in here, we see a branch that was cut in the wrong place, and we need to get back all the way in through here to get that out. And you can see, when you cut and leave this, it'll die back if you don't cut all the way back to the main branch. You have to have a strong branch to cut back to. And you can see the way that this died back. So this summer solstice pruning is for shape, mostly for shape, but you want to look the whole tree over. When we first got in here, this whole maple was hanging over into the driveway, which is kind of dangerous, and it was covering up the stone wall. So we want to keep this back, and this kind of summer pruning helps us to do that. So thank you for watching Bob's Garden, and we'll see you next time. Remember to share, subscribe, and comment on my videos. And remember,
Be curious, not judgmental.